All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 4 reviews up this week, the first of which is Blades, Bows, and Magic. Feels like they were missing some B word that represented magic here. Messes up the alliteration, but whatever. Anyway, a casual medieval fantasy strategy card battle. Duel champions across the land in single player and unlock new cards with special abilities. Challenge other players or your friends in online PvP multiplayer with our distinctive tactical battle system. I will note here and now that we only got one copy of the game, so there was no multiplayer testing. If there was, we probably would have done it on Friday. Like, um, with that in mind, yes, it is another card battle.
Take your shots
Um,
now, boys.
But in fairness to this particular title, it's doing some things differently than your garden variety indie card battler game. The first of which is you might notice a word was missing from that description. Who can spot it?
Any other type of melee weapon?
Nope.
Shields?
No, it's got shields. Roguelike.
Okay.
Like, yes, this is
Sorry.
a very No, it's fine.
For some reason, I thought you meant the title.
No. Anyway, my point is, this is not a roguelike deck battler. So there is no dungeoneering with procedural generation. Like they are fixed fights that you go to on the overworld. Once again, that makes this very different from the trend. The other big thing is it's got a rock, paper, scissors battle system versus, bigger number equals better, stronger. Putting aside card descriptions of, power. That's here too, but the core mechanic here is not numbered. It's a three-way affair between warriors, archers, and mages. And the way it goes is warriors greater than archers, archers greater than mage, mage greater than warrior.
I think that's how it works in Fire Emblem.
Possibly,
Fire Emblem doesn't literally have that exact triangle. It's just a comparison that came to mind.
Right, but this is a bit more stringent. Not 100%, but like if you put up a mage against an archer, the enemy archer is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, this is all subject to the notations on the actual card. Now, when you start out, you will just get the base unit. You will get the representations of warriors, mages, and archers with no additional functionality. But pretty soon, every time you win a battle, you will get the choice to pick a new warrior. And those are going to have these special talents attached. Like an example is a very early mage you get is the Legion mage, which, if put up against an archer, the unit that it's weak against, it will transpose into a warrior. So, and you will incorporate that into your strategy, hopefully. Obviously, this is at the beck and the call of the cards, which are, randomly flipped out, but typical card game here. But the point is, the more you battle, the more and more special units you will get, and the more and more you will have to do tactical or strategic planning. because there's an additional wrinkle here. It's not just your card units that have special power. Your general has their own tactic. Like the guy you start out with will nullify one of the enemy back units' special talent. And they are along, and the enemy units have their own similarly uh, comparable affection, like the undead general you'll face will have a power where if all of his enemy soldiers are defeated, he will be able to summon an undead warrior. That kind of deal. And yes, you will try to plan around that as well. I say try because all of these things stack up on each other. So that can actually make the final planning here a bit dodgy. Because there are very quickly, you will have just all specialized units. They will all do something, and who actually wins a round could it's not going to be immediately clear. This happened to me quite a bit as the game went on. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying by the time when you get around where there's like four or five things going on, it was actually kind of hard to, 100% plan around things. And once again, there's the additional limitation of what the cards are, drawn. Like, and that's about all there is to it, gameplay wise.
I will say I'm not a big fan of how it snaps to cards when you click and drag them. It doesn't feel very accurate.
Right. Yeah, I can't say I was a big fan of that either, but yeah, that's like maybe a UI UX
Yeah,
issue.
sometimes that happens also because I'm on an ultra wide. It stretches the bounding boxes weird. So I don't know how
Yeah.
much of that's my setup and how much is that the game.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is this is a very solid card battle. That's not going to feel like another fucking clone of Slay the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not it's not a completely original new battle system or anything like that. But like I said, just even doing a rock paper scissors variant of things is fresher than a lot of these card battlers
Mm-hmm.
are.
And this is
I'm
definitely
also
something that could be sent to like mobile and do all
Yes.
right.
Yes. I'm also really glad that there's no fucking roguelike dungeon. These are
Right.
just two fucking trends that I am sick of.
I mean,
Thoroughly.
a small roguelike mode could be interesting after you've expressed mastery, but like it being the sole gameplay focus, no, you'd get tired of it quickly.
Well, it's once again, it's more we're not lacking for roguelike
Yeah.
modes. We're not lacking for roguelike card battlers.
Yeah, I guess some
It's a
behind the
market.
scenes for those of you who don't know, we have turned away several roguelike deck builders just this year for
Yes.
review.
Um, like I said, it's it's the it's one of the hot trends on the indie circuit.
Right.
Right. And like I said, just this game doing a few things different makes it feel so much fresher. Now that being said, I wasn't in love with the game, but I enjoyed it enough where I was annoyed I could not continue. Like I think I only put about 2 hours into it.
Right.
That's mainly due to because it was a watching the kids week, and watching the kids took precedence over playing
Mhm.
games. You know, that's just how life goes.
And I mean, this is
But
one
it's
of
like,
those things like it'd be easier if it was like on a mobile device where you could just like if you have a minute, you could probably thumb through a couple instead of having to
yeah,
whip out your laptop and pay more attention to it.
Yeah. Conversely, this is a game that I didn't mind playing on the laptop.
Do you have a touchscreen laptop, or is it just regular?
It's a regular. Like, I had a touchscreen laptop last time, and I just never used the touchscreen.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, this is
honestly,
one of those ones it'd probably be decent for, at least. Granted,
but
it also depends
anyway,
if Windows touchscreen drivers are better, but that is a topic for another
yeah.
podcast.
But regardless, this game is currently not on mobile.
Right.
It's on Steam and itch.io, but there's no mobile version yet. I'm not precluding
This definitely
the
has the
idea that,
bones where it could be if the devs so choose.
and once again, did not get a chance to try the battle system. So
the multiplayer battle
and it does,
system.
yeah, it does have online PvP, which I would be kind of important for a card game. But also this isn't in the vein of Hearthstone either.
Right.
Like it's not a free to play game, and I don't know if it has any DLC lined up, but it's probably going to be like additional land.
Yeah, there's not
Versus,
like you can't purchase packs. Everything
yes,
is in the game. As
yes,
it was
which actually,
back when we were young.
yeah, which actually makes sense because once again, this isn't a traditional, let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering style card game.
Right.
This is jankenpon, and there's once again, there's additional layering going on here, but there's not really anything you can do to add to the basic
I mean,
without, breaking.
technically there is with like different abilities and stuff like that, but at that point
That's
it
what I'm
just
getting
becomes a
at.
mess. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That the abilities are layered on top of the basic rock paper scissors formula. They're not going to add sunburst into the mix.
Right.
And 10 brownie points if you get that reference.
Oh, we're not playing rock paper scissors lizard Spock.
Did you find any abilities that kind of break the rock paper scissors format in your play, or is it all just?
I don't think I played long enough to find that. Like, I can't discount the possibility, but it's like
You
I don't
just
think
didn't see it at your point.
yeah, I don't. But like, we don't usually, typically play the week in week out games for that long anyway.
Right.
I'm like, you know, I will freely admit, like, that is a limitation of this review, and maybe better served, to learn the deeper mechanics and abilities and all that stuff from, a video that's like an hour
Yeah,
or 2 hours.
this game looks to be interesting enough. There's probably a longer form video
Yeah,
to go watch on it that has, deeper strategy than what we can muster here.
yeah. But like I said, it's a solid enough core for me to recommend. And on that note, pricing. So this game also comes in at a very affordable price in $6.99. So 7 bone.
That's not bad,
Yeah, this
especially
game. Yeah,
for everything being inside. You're not buying packs and whatnot.
yeah.
$6 is
This game
totally
is
fine.
a very easy recommendation at $7. This probably could have gone at least 10 and
Is it
still
on
been in
sale
recommendation.
for summer sale?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going for $5.59.
All right.
So
I guess
it's not a huge sale, but that's a price where you don't get a huge drop.
right. I guess timing note, currently we are in the middle of Steam's 2026 summer sale. So we may
Yes.
reference those prices as well, just in case for the early birds who catch these reviews while the sale is going.
Yeah. But, we look at default pricing because, we don't know when people are going to watch these.
Right.
So anyway, the point is, $5.59 to $7. Easy recommendation.
Yeah.
Like I said, really solid title. And I think that's about all I got. So that'll about do it for Blades, Bows, and Magic. Be sure to tune in after the break as Petty Fan reviews Bokeh Sickness Simulator.